Hello and welcome to this session on Katalon Studio beginner tutorials, and today we are going to learn how to do mobile Android device testing on Mac operating system, and we are going to go very basic step by step, and we will learn how to install Homebrew, how to install Node.js, how to install Appium on Mac OS. We will then connect our Appium to our Katalon Studio. We will also look how can we configure the Android device for automation, and finally we will run the tests on mobile device. So let's get started, and step number one is install Homebrew. So let me go to my browser and you can just say Homebrew and search for it, and you will get this option for Homebrew. Just go to this home page, and here you can see Homebrew is the missing package manager for Mac OS. So Homebrew is an application using which we can install, uninstall and manage packages and softwares on Mac OS, and it provides us a very easy way to do that. So we will install Homebrew, and you can just copy this command for installation and then go to your terminal. I will press command spacebar to bring spotlight and search for terminal app, and here is my terminal. I will just copy that command and run it. So this will install Homebrew. I will press enter. If you have any password of your system, it will ask, so you can give your password and then run this. So you can see it has started installing Homebrew here. Let us just wait for this process to get completed. And also this installation of Homebrew is an optional step. However, it will be very useful because with Homebrew you can manage and install and upgrade packages in a very easy way. So I will also add the URL here, and all these notes will be available in the description section of this video. Let me also copy this command as well. So now you can see brew is installed. Let me just clear the terminal, and you can run the command brew space -v, and it should show you the Homebrew version you have. Also you can run the command brew space -- version. This is the same thing. This should also show you the Homebrew version, and you can also say which brew to get the location of Homebrew, and you can see it is present in USR local bin brew. So let me also write down this in notes. So once you have installed, you can check Homebrew installed successfully by using the commands brew space -v or brew space -- version, which is one and the same thing. So this is -- version, and then you can also say which brew. Okay, now coming to step number 2 is, now because we have Homebrew installed, we will install Node.js using Homebrew, and the command will be brew install node. Brew install node. So let us go to our terminal and let me say brew install node, and this should install our node.js on our Mac operating system. So you can see whenever you do any installation through Brew, it will always update Homebrew first, and then it will start downloading the package and installing it. So you can see as of now it is now downloading, and then it will install. Also, if you go to the website of Homebrew, if you go to the documentation and then you go to frequently asked questions here, you can see all these commands. You can say brew update whenever you want to update brew itself. You can say brew outdated to find out all the outdated packages. You can say brew upgrade, which will upgrade everything, and then so many useful formulas. And that is the reason we are using Homebrew, to make all this process very easy and efficient. So I think it is now doing installation of Node. Let us just wait for this process to get completed. And yes, this is completed. And just to check, you can say node space minus v to check the node version, or node space minus minus version. This will give you the same result. So we can see we have our node 10.4.0 installed, which is the latest as of now. And you can also check the version for npm, which is node package manager, by npm minus v or npm minus minus version. Now npm is the package manager for Node, and using npm we can install other Node packages, and npm will be installed along with Node, so you do not have to do it separately. Just in case you do not get npm, then you can still say brew install npm. This will not be required because it will be installed along with Node. So let me just write down the commands here. Brew install npm is optional and is required only when npm is not installed along with Node. And then the commands to check is node space minus v for checking the version of Node, npm space minus v for checking the version of npm, and also you can say which node to get the location of Node, or which npm to get the location of npm. So I'll write down these commands as well, which node and which npm. So here we are done with our step number 2, and our step number 3 is install Appium. And now for installing Appium we are going to use node or npm, and we will say npm install Appium. Now when you run this command npm install Appium, you can say -g, and -g is for globally making Appium accessible from any location on this system. And you can also say npm install -g Appium at some particular version number, for example 1.7.2 or something. So this will install that particular version of Appium. However, in case you want to get just the latest version, you can say npm install -g Appium. So here I will say npm install -g Appium and hit enter, and it will get Appium, the latest version, and then install it on our Mac operating system. And this process of getting and installing Appium can take some time, so let's wait for this process to get completed. Also, you can note down the location where it is installing Appium, and you can see this is in user lib, so I will just tell you that. And I believe the process is completed now, and you can also check by the command appium space -v. So this is the command that we can run to get the Appium version, and you can see we have the version 1.8.1 installed, and Appium space -- version should give you the same result. And also you can say which Appium, and it will give you the location of Appium. And also, as I was telling you, you can note down the location where it is installing the node module for Appium, which is here, usr local lib node modules Appium. So this path is something we will need to be given in our Katalon Studio. So you can just note down this path, and of course in the notes I will write down the commands. So you can say appium space -v to get the Appium version, or appium space -- version, and you can also run the command which Appium, and also note down the location of Appium, which is this one. Now the next step, step number 4, is we have to open our Katalon Studio and connect to Appium. And connect to Appium means we just have to provide the location of our Appium folder inside Katalon Studio. So let me just open my Katalon Studio now, and Katalon Studio is up, and here you have to go to your Katalon Studio and you can go to preferences, and here inside preferences you have a option for Katalon, and under Katalon we have an option for mobile. So just click here on mobile, and here we will give that location of Appium. So this is the location on my system, and most probably on your system as well the location will be same, which is USR local lib node modules and Appium. And also you can go to Finder and check it. If you go to your Finder, you can press Command Shift plus G on your keyboard to bring this go to folder bar, and here you can go to that particular location, and you can see it is here lib node modules and we have Appium here. So let us give that location here and say apply and OK on Katalon Studio. So we have connected our Katalon Studio with Appium, and now step number 5 is configure Android mobile device for automation. So at this moment what you have to do is you have to go to your mobile device, the Android mobile device, okay, and let me show you my device. I am using a software called Visor. Now I'm using this just to show you my Android device screen. So I have already connected an Android mobile phone with the help of a USB cable to my laptop, and to show you the mobile screen on the desktop or the laptop I am using Visor. So here what you have to do is you have to go to your Android mobile and go to settings, and inside settings you will find an option for about phone here, okay. So this is about phone. Go here, and here inside about phone you will find an option for build number, okay. Now what you have to do is you have to tap this build number 7 times, and once you do that you will become a developer on this particular device. So let me do that, and you can see I am getting a message, no need, you are already a developer, and this is because I have already done this. But in case you have not done this, tap this 7 times until you get a message that you are now a developer, and then go back to settings. So now go back to settings again, and this time you will have a option on your settings which is developer options. So this is you will get only when you have done the earlier step. Now go to developer options, and here you will find an option for USB debugging and make it on. So once this is on, you are done with the configuration on your mobile device. And now let me go to my notes. So after this step you can connect your mobile device to your laptop or desktop with the help of a USB cable. So once you have done this configuration, you can connect mobile with your system, whether it is laptop or desktop, with the help of a USB cable, okay. And now step 6 is go to Katalon Studio and create or run mobile tests. So at this moment we will go to our Katalon Studio, and here now you can create a new project, or for this particular demo you can also use a sample mobile testing project which is already available in Katalon Studio. So you get this Katalon help screen whenever you open Katalon Studio. Also you can get this from help menu and go to Katalon help. This particular window will be displayed where you have this option to select any sample project. I am selecting sample mobile testing project, and I will say this is as sample mobile test project 1. You can give any location where you want to save it, any description which is optional, and then say OK. And here we have a mobile testing project where some test cases are already created. So you can go to any of these test cases, and here you can see some mobile actions or keywords are already there. You can go to the script mode and you can see all these options are there. And here you can see to start the application, it is using a variable G Android app, which is something you can find here in profiles. Find a global variable default. If you go inside this, here you can see the app. So this is an APK file. So we need APK files for doing testing on native mobile application on Android device. So here it is, and you can see the other keywords like tap, scroll to text, etc. And then you can see the objects here in the object repository. So you can see all these objects here. You can go and you can look at these objects. So for now what we are going to do is I'm going to go to the test suite and click on this test suite, and you can see both of these test cases are already added. And now I can go to this run button here at the top and click on this drop down, and here I am going to select Android, and you can see now it is already showing my Android device. And this is because we have already configured our mobile device for automation, and we have already connected to our system with the help of USB cable. And also when you connect your mobile device with the help of USB cable, if you get a prompt or message for enabling USB debugging, please accept it and enable USB debugging. And now I will select this option and say OK, and I will also show you my mobile screen here. So this will launch the test suite and then start Appium and then start the test. So let us just wait. At the very first time it can be a little slow. It will connect to Appium, start the Appium server, and then it will connect to mobile device and then start the testing. So you can also see the logs here which says Appium server started on port, and this should start our test. Yes, you can see it is going to some application, doing some tapping actions, and it is doing some other actions, and I believe first test is done. It should start the second test now. And yes, it is starting the second test, doing some scrolling actions, and tapped on the last option and came out of the application, closed it, and yes, it is done. So you can see our testing is done and both of our test cases are pass. And also this is the console, so you can always look at console to see the logs. This will be very useful in case you have any failures. You can troubleshoot by looking at the console. And of course we get the reports here, the results here, and in the result we get all the options here. So we get summary which tells us the Katalon version, start time, end time, total pass fail, some information on the operating system used, and then we have execution settings where again we get all these values. And then in the execution environment we get all the information about the host, and then all the information about the Android device, the device model, Appium version, operating system of the device, manufacturer ID, device ID, and everything. Now just in case you want to create some new test cases or something new with mobile, so for that what you can do is, let me create a new test case here. I will go to test cases and create a new test case and say this is test case 1. Okay. Now here what I can do is I can also do a recording of mobile by using this option record mobile. So this is present here at the top. So I will do a record mobile. And actually before I do this, I also want to get the location of the APK file. Now here you can get any APK file for any application that you want testing to be done on. In my case, I will take the APK file which is present within this sample project, and I can take the location of this project, which is this user Raghav Katalon Studio. So I will just note down this location, user Raghav Katalon Studio, and then sample mobile testing project, and inside this I will find my APK file. So now I will click on this record mobile, and here you can see it will give you the mobile devices. So you can select local or Cobiton. Cobiton is a cloud application from Katalon where we can get some devices on the cloud and we can use it. But for now I'm selecting local here, and here in this you will get all the devices available. So I have got a lot of iPhone simulators, and that is because I have Xcode on this system, which will be required when we do testing on an iPhone or iOS. But for now I am selecting my Android device, and here I have to browse for the application file or the APK file. So here, as I have already told you, we will go to our project location, and here we should have a folder called Android app, and I will select this particular APK file. In case you have your own APK file for your application, you can select that and say open, and then click on start. So let me show you my mobile screen as well. So this should start that particular application on my mobile device. I did not start. Let me just check again, everything is fine, and click on start again. I think yes, now it is trying to start the application, and yes, looks like it will start the application now. And yes, you can see it has started the application here, and it should also actually start a window to look at the device screen. And yes, it is starting the device view here. So you can see now here it has started our application on the device and given us this device view where we can do all the actions, and that will be recorded. Also you can select any object from here. So whatever page is there on the device as of now, it is listing all the objects. So for example, if you click on any of this object, it will be highlighted here, and the same thing will happen if you click here on the device, it will be highlighted here, okay, on this object repository. So you can highlight any object, and then you can select any of these actions like tap and hold, set text, etc. So I will just click on tap, and it will do that action and also record it here. So you can see it has got recorded, and then I will again click on something and say tap, and it has started it. I can press back, I will say press back, and I will again say press back, and you can see this all is getting recorded here, okay. And I can again say press back, which will actually come out of the application, and that's it. I will now click on stop recording. So I'll click on stop, and I say okay. In the object repository, it will add all the objects that we have added or recorded. You can say okay, and here now if you go to object repository, you will find all these objects that we recorded, and of course in the test case you can find all our actions recorded. If I go to the script view, you can again see we have our actions. We have start application where we have used the APK file to start the application, and then you can see we have done some tap actions, and then we have pressed back button. So now I will run this on the Android device. I will click on this start button, drop down Android, select the Android device and say OK, and this will start my Android device. Let me show you my Android device screen here, and let us see if this runs successfully. So it has started the Appium server that I can see from the logs here. So it has started Appium server on this particular port, and now it will start to run the test on our Android device. And yes, it has started, and yes, so it has tapped there and then tapped on sensors, now pressed back, and yes, it has completed our test case. So this is done, and we can see in the log viewer our test case is pass. and all the actions are done successfully. So let me go back to my notes. So step 7 is run and validate. You can run the sample test project, or also you can create a new project or a new test case and then validate. So these are the 7 simple steps using which you can start creating mobile test cases for Android device on Mac OS system. In the next coming sessions, we will learn how to do mobile iOS testing or testing on iPhone on Mac OS. I hope this session was very useful for you. Thank you for watching.